to our trip up north. Sorry about the introduction, but it looks like we've lost the footage. The rock in the middle of the rapids on the left hand side is called Frog Rock. It doesn't look much like a frog right now because there's so much water running down the Thompson River that it's overflowed the features. As I said, we're heading to the Yukon. This is going to take us 3 weeks and we are going to slow it right down. We are not going to explore Alaska like we did in 2019, but we're going to explore the Yukon and parts of northern British Columbia a little bit more in depth. So please sit back, enjoy the scenery, and follow us as we take this trip up north. As we travelled through the Caribou and arrived at 100 Mile House for a break, we came across the world's largest pair of cross-country skis, which were dedicated by himself, Rick Hansen, during his Man in Motion tour. We had to get a picture with Fred and Oasis alongside it here. Right next door was a red stagecoach, and this was originally the BC Express Stagecoach number 14, the only surviving stagecoach that travelled between Ashcroft and Prince George as late as 1917. Hello everybody, this is our night stop, first night. It's a free site. We are at the 108 Mile Heritage Site. So there's this village here on the side of the highway. It's going to be a bit noisy and I apologize for that, but we do get a beautiful sunset and we're right on a lake with Fred 3 and Oasis. We'll just have a look here. So yeah, so if I look right behind me there, that's the heritage site with all the buildings and a wonderful sunset. And there's an amazing lake sort of right through those buildings right there. It's a really big lake. Beautiful. This is a neat place to stop, and it also has bathrooms here. So it is a rest stop, but hey, when you're traveling like this, beggars can't be choosers. It's actually a site that we've seen before on our trip, but we've never stayed here. It's awesome. We are at a 108 Mile historic ranch. So we're actually on a lake and a beautiful sunset. And we'll do a little 360 here as you can get to see some of the ranch. Oh, there's a head. So there's the ranch behind us. We are literally camped sort of between those back two buildings there. Yeah, so we'll show you that in a little while. And then a beautiful sunset. Even better if I touch the screen. Look at that. Absolutely wonderful. Hello everybody. I'm cheerful, I don't know why. It's 4 p.m. It's day 2. It's been a weird drive, but there wasn't really anything worth videoing. We drove from the 108 Mile House last night. We are heading to Fort St. James. We pulled in at Prince George basically for a bite to eat and fuel, and other than that, that was it. We just wanted to let you know that we are on day 2. And we're heading to apparently a really nice lake. I think it's Lake Stevens, but I'm not sure. At Fort St. James. Nothing really else to add to this right now. It's just a long drive. We'll show you a little bit more when we get closer. So we're coming into Fort St. James. Apparently we're still 7 minutes out. As always, one of the best places to ever get any information is the tourist information place. We're in Fort St. James, and just down that way a bit more, apparently, is a historic fort. So we're going to check that out later. I'm being summoned into the visitor center. Give me a sec. So in Fort St. James, there's actually a Fort St. James, the Hudson Bay Company. We're going to go and have a look at it. We're probably going to have a look at it tomorrow when it is open. But if we have a look over here, there are some buildings. But more so, over there's a map. Let's go and have a look. And this is, apparently they have world famous chicken races at 9:30 a.m.
Actually, real chickens. So we have to come here to see the chicken races.
And if we have a look out there,
Fort St. James National Historic Site. So we're going to go see the chicken races at 9:30, or be here before, and we're going to walk around and see what it's all about at the old historic site of Fort St. James tomorrow. In between the mosquitoes, that is.
so we are camping at the Fort St. James Municipal Campground. It's not very large, probably what?
12 sites maybe?
12 sites. And right on the lake, as you can see, which looks really nice. The lake is absolutely brilliant. We went for a dip in it earlier.
A little cold at the beginning, but once you're in, you're okay.
Yes. And we're going to turn right in a minute. You can see some of them on the waterfront. They all have power. It seems like they all have power anyway, and we have been given a price of $20 a night, which is a little bit misleading because the documentation says $25 a night, and you can see that we are set up in the middle of all of this. But for one night, we have a fire ring, we have everything we need, but there are lots of flies.
Oh God, that's an understatement.
So we just need to make sure that we don't get eaten alive. But for 20 bucks with power, this helps us out with our fridge. And as we back in here, you'll get to see
the beautiful
view of the lake, to be honest with you. Oh, wrong one. Need to go on the other side. Let's back this up the right way. There we go. Oh, hit that fire pit. So there you go. There's the beautiful view of our wonderful lake at our doorstep, which is amazing. And the water is nice as well. It's nice and warm. Welcome everybody. We are heading to Fort St. James today. We are actually going to go inside. It was a very lazy start to this morning. Unfortunately, it's now midday, but we've not got into the swing of how to do this stuff yet, as daft as that sounds, but it's only been night 2, start of day 3, so we're running a little bit behind, but we'll be good. You know, we've got a long way to go. So we've come to the actual fort of Fort St. James. Apparently it's got the most original still standing buildings in any of the national historic parks. So now we're off into the fur warehouse. And it's one of the original trading posts of the Hudson Bay Company. Still got a lot of inventory in here. Even leathers. Really cool. There's even furs and pelts hanging from the ceiling. And this one is the fish house where they kept all the dried salmon. And the furs that we were just looking at have been there since 1997. And these are actually real dried fish. Still hanging here. Cool. And now we're off to my home, the officer's house. Wow, look at the eagle. So we found the chicken races. Races and racers. There's one of them hiding out. And unfortunately, we woke up too late this morning. We haven't got our stride in our way that we're camping at the moment, and we woke up pretty late and we forgot to watch this at 9:30 this morning. So yes, we suck, but we found out where they are. That's all, folks.
Slow down, Moose. Hey, stop.
We then arrived at Yukon, BC and headed for the Steelhead Park. This park is beautiful and it was full of colour when we arrived. They also had a fountain that wasn't working when we arrived, but this is known as the Steelhead Capital. Along with this, there's a 60-foot, 800-pound fly rod, adorned with a fluorescent orange Skokomish sunrise fly. Just for fun, Sandra decided to hang off of it at the very bottom of the reel. I then decided to place Oasis and Fred there and pretended to use it as a fly rod. Morning, everybody. I say morning, well, it's about 11 o'clock of day 4, and we are at the Witsec Canyon, and it's a steelhead counting or hatchery counting ladder. It's pretty cool. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but right sort of in that area right there, there is a couple of people doing dip netting, which is the nets on the really long poles. We're not sure if they are fishing or if they are counting, but there are some old ladders right here, right there, as well. So yeah, pretty cool. Highway exit to go north towards Walton Lake. We did not take that because we are heading to Terrace BC. We've not been down here. We're going to meet up with a friend. But yeah, we just wanted to give you an update. We are following a river. I'm not sure what the river is actually called.
Skeena.
Oh, is that what it is? Cool. So we're following the Skeena River. And there's been a lot stop starts, just looking at some viewpoints on the way. But other than that, it's been just a leisurely drive. And I'll try and get you some. We'll have a look at the river as we come into Terrace. We are approximately 55 kilometers outside of Terrace. Interested to see snow back on the mountains, so we've just gone past through the Copper River leading into the Skeena River into Thornhill, and we're 9k short of Terrace. Wow, look at them all fishing down there.
In the Skeena River. Wow,
I
thought you did.
We are coming into
Terrace
Let's see what the sign
BC.
says. Ferry Island Municipal Campground. That's where we're going to go. We're going to go check this out actually. It's right here. Let's see if there's anywhere we can stay for the night.
You calm down, Missy. Be bumpy, humpy.
Welcome to Ferry Island. How much is it? 14 nights. Price is $30.
Check-in. Report to campground office for check-in payment due at 11.
All campers must register
One way.
this way.
Register to some caretaker site. There you go.
Sign there. Just, do you want to go and ask? See what there is available, whatever the prices are. I mean, if it's a big difference between power and non-power, then don't worry. Power, but
For one night, right?
reoccurring. It could be two, but one for now. Good morning, everybody. This is Tuesday morning, start of day 5 for us on our trip. Last night we drove into Ferry Island. I just want to give you a bit of a 360 of what it is. It's a treed island habitat with about 110 sites. I will correct that number because I'm pretty sure it was 110. The downside to this is it's in the treed area, so it keeps everything dark. If you have a look at the ground, it's still sort of damp. But I also believe that the river, the Skeena River, has only just subsided enough. Like it's just over here on the other side of this embankment. But I think this campground got washed out quite a bit. Mosquitoes, there are a few. It's not a big deal. They're not as bad as we've had over the last 3 days, that's to be honest with you. This thing has been a godsend on this trip. It takes a little bit longer to build up than those instant pop-up ones, but we've been able to relax from the flies and the mosquitoes for sure. Sight here, it's not bad. You can probably hear the traffic. I'm not sure if you can see, but the highway, the main highway into Terrace is right here. We are set up for 2 nights. This is our second day. Sorry about the sunlight. And the reason for that is we weren't going to go down to Prince Rupert, but we are now. We're going to go do that because we've just done some math on time that we've got available on our trip, and we have gained that time going to Alaska. So, or not going to Alaska, we've saved about 7 to 8 days. And now we're just trying to figure out, should we stop, slow it right down, and we are slowing it right down. We're going to go and explore Prince Rupert today. Again, we're in lockdown mode right now. Hitch has been removed and the pin put in, so you never know. We don't know the area, and I believe that everywhere that we go, all places are safe and all campers are friendly. But We just don't know. So I've put other measures in place as well. We have a security cable that we can put around the axle as well as the wheels. So hopefully if somebody does decide to drag it off, as you can see right there, that we can prevent that. And it's just a deterrent, that is all. How are we doing? Oasis has been really good. Oasis as always has been really, really good. The modifications to Fred 3.0 have been really, really good. Water, we've probably used 20 litres of fresh water out of our onboard water system. We are going to fill up the tank with the jerry can, which is right here, because this is home water. We do have about 2 flats, 36, so what's that, 72 bottles of fresh water that we are going to start using after this tank down in here. The onboard tank for 40 litres has gone because we're using home water. Your body is sort of used to that, but once we start moving, last time we did Alaska we got sick from water we picked up, so that's why we're going to use all of our water. That jerry can will then become filled. There's actually a tap right here at the campsite, so we're going to fill the jerry can up. That will then become our shower water, and we will start drinking bottled water, and that's going well. Fred is doing really well. The onboard inverter or the generator mode is doing really well. We have lost about 1 litre per 100 kilometers, 1.5 litres I would say. We're averaging right now about 18 litres per 100. On our previous trip we had the canopy on the last truck with the same trailer setup, and we were averaging 16.5 litres. But we are using the onboard inverter every day to charge the trailer battery and the auxiliary battery in Fred. I'll quickly show you that because I don't think that has been shown yet. So this is our 138 ampere hour lithium ion battery kit. That's right in here with our C-Tech battery charger, 4.5 amps. And then we have the 65 DZ fridge in here. A bit messy in the back right now because we had a shower. We're just drying things out, but everything in here is set up for swimming, for the dog, you know, for sandals, shoes, etc. So it's actually an easy convenience for us the way it's laid out. Roof boxes, the rack, this is working awesomely. It's really, really working well. And we have not had a problem. Like I said, we've lost maybe 1.5 litres per 100 kilometers. On average, we were doing about 750 kilometers on a tank of gas. We've only filled up 3 times, and we're doing the half tank theory for us because we have a 130 litre tank. And right now, we're averaging around 175 kilometers on a tank. So we haven't really lost a lot. The inverter system is doing really well. Super impressed. We can run the kettle, we can run a toaster, and we can charge the whole battery system up. So, all right, so that's our quick walk around the vehicle setup, the camp setup in Ferry Island, Terrace. Pricing here is about $22 a night for unpowered, and I think $30 a night if you want power. And they're big sites. They're really big sites. You can have some pull-throughs. They've got the RVs, trailers, and stuff like that. So, actually, what I'll do is I'll drive out of the campground with the camera on, and you'll get to see what the actual Ferry Island campground looks like. You can see there are some big rigs in here, and these have got pull-throughs. How many sites did you say there was, Sandra? I said 110, but...
something around that, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 100, 110.
We'll edit that and tell you exactly how many there are in here. There are showers as well. So for $22, you do get a shower facility, which is quite nice because we needed it. The river and the lake does not cut it all the time.
Helps out.
Yes. And this is the entry-exit point. We left the campground and headed towards Terrace, where we found Big Bertha. Big Bertha was a tree spa, but mechanical. Instead of using the tallest trees in the neighborhood, strapping lines to them to transport the logs from the forests down to the waiting vehicles, they found that this was a safer way to do it. She weighed in at 50 tons and only lasted 2 months, but it led the way to make more portable tree spars on vehicles with less weight, making it a lot safer for the loggers.